What's up, world? How y'all doing this morning? Thursday, motivation and inspiration. Shout out to everybody. Up, going to work, going to school, getting the kids up, already at work, different time zones, all that good stuff. You did. I love you all. Hope you tapped in with the plug. Read up on your source of energy for the day. And I want to give a special shout out to my guy Travis. He subscribed to the channel a while ago, I want to say maybe like 6 months ago, and he had reached out to me and told me that he grew up in Kansas City as well, and asked me, this was a while back, maybe like March, April, and said that if he came in town, would I be willing to come have dinner with him or just to meet him so he could show his appreciation. And I was like, yeah, cool. So we met up yesterday evening. I had to bring my kids with me because, I'm really a daddy, so my babies is always with me, but it was cool to sit down with somebody who consumes my content like the individuals watching this video will do. And we talked about life and family and how we both have been put on child support and, made bad decisions with the women we procreated with. And we're able to, learn from our mistakes and move forward and be better fathers and teach our kids to become better men than us. And I keep saying, we not as divided as it seems. You put a bunch of men in a room and let us talk about our experiences, we get along. You let me sit down with a bunch of different women, I promise I'll make them smile. We all a lot more in common, and the world wants us to be mad at each other, angry at each other, mean mugging. And we doing our best to kill those narratives. So once again, I thank you all for rocking with me and consuming my content as I share my art with the world. And I look forward to consuming your art as well. And it's a little gloomy on this Thursday, but we ain't got the light, so I'm gonna be the light. Today my daughter has her 6th grade graduation, so I'll be attending that. It's wild I got a kid in the 6th grade. I remember being in the 6th grade, wasn't that long ago, and now I'm on the other side of it. Being a parent is unique, because when you're a kid, your parents are so strict and so angry and so uptight, and it's like, where did your funness go? Why did you stop laughing? Why did you stop dancing? I never seen my daddy outside dribbling a basketball. As much as he told me he played sports, I never seen him dribble a ball. My mama was overweight my whole life that I have a memory. And she used to always tell me, boy, I used to run track and I used to be fine. And I was like, nigga, please. But now seeing so many of my peers, the women that I grew up with, gain so much weight, I sit down and think like, damn, maybe mama did used to be in shape. And when I was a child, I thought because you got older, you had to gain weight. And that's just not true. It's about your diet and your lifestyle. And I solely believe parents have to set a fantastic example for their children. If you fit, your kids gonna wanna be fit. My son, Junebug, he always walk around the house flexing his muscles. Daddy, I feel buff. So shout out to everybody that's taking care of their body, taking care of their mind, drinking water, taking vitamins, stretching, meditating, doing yoga, or even if you stepping into those things and they new to you. But on this Thursday morning, I was thinking the other day about how some things evolve and other things don't, and maybe somebody in the comments can let me know. Did you know the word Yankee used to be a slur in the 1800s, and now we have the New York Yankees? If you ever watched the Flintstones when you were a child, remember at the end of the intro, it said we're going to have a gay old time, which gay used to be happy. Friedrich Nietzsche actually has a book called The Gay Science, and now we know gay is gay. So I was thinking, the word Yankee has been able to evolve and take on a new meaning. The word gay has been able to evolve and take on a new meaning. But for some reason, the word nigga cannot evolve. And if you look at it, it's been spelled multiple different ways and it's had multiple different meanings and all this, but for some reason, that's the one word that still pauses the world. That if you're not black and you say it, you can lose your job, you can lose your career, your family can ostracize you. Even if you at a rap concert and the rapper calls you up on stage, you have to say every word but that word. If you're in the car with your friends, you have to stop when that word comes on. But comedians say it, and actors say it, and entertainers say it, so it's this weird limbo. And I got to thinking, if you wanted to not let people fully grow and fully accept human consciousness for what it is and really accept free speech, then you got to keep them in some form of mental slavery. And the minute that word is uttered, There's a few books called, James Baldwin has a book called, it used to be called I Am Not Your Nigger, but then they changed it to say I'm Not Your Negro. And then there's another book, I want to say about Randall Kennedy, that's called Nigger. And I think these books should be read because they really go into the origins of these words and the detail and the history and the breakdown of them. And if we can keep people in a state of fight or flight, the minute they hear a word, then I control you, I own you. You never get to open your mind and really explore life for what it is. And it's the same way with race now. You know, the minute somebody hears black or hear white, or you hear the word masculinity, or you hear the word feminism, all of these words have been weaponized against us. And I'm saying we have to pay attention to how someone else are using these words to control the human race. And the only way we really can move forward is if we have open, long-form discussions about words, about phrases. Like me growing up as a black kid in a homeless shelter, being around all black people my whole life, I've heard the N-word, or nigga, my whole life. Literally. My daddy, if I call my daddy right now, he answer the phone and say, "What's up, nigga?" It's just something. However, I would like to hear from an Asian man's perspective. What does he feel when he hear the word nigga? I would like to hear from a white man, from a Puerto Rican man, from a white woman, from a Cuban one. Like, I would like to hear the perspective from other people, but I can't hear it because they're told if they say it, they're a bad person. So how do we really grow? How do we connect? How do we align spiritually? I would love to be able to ask a gay person just a bunch of questions. When did this come into your life? Or how do you really feel about it? Do you feel you were born this way? Like, I want to be able to talk to people where it's not offensive. I would love for a white man to come up to me and say, "How do you feel when somebody call you a nigga?" Let's have a conversation about it. The idea that has been painted to the world that I gotta be this super violent, angry man, and if you call me out my name, I gotta punch you and shoot up your block. I think that does a lot of harm to the image of the black male. That you gotta be this, either this super sexual individual or this super violent individual. You just can't be in the middle. Sometimes I can be violent, sometimes I can be super sexual, but I just want to play with my kids and watch basketball most of the time. As I'm sure a lot of men in this world are. We just really simple creatures. And women in this world, like, we all are labeled by someone externally, and that's why I say take the paintbrush back. Because if you don't tell your story, how will anyone know you exist? And I look forward to, like I say this a lot because I really mean it, I look forward to consuming your art, but I really look forward to some of the meaningful conversations that we can have, the thought-provoking conversations, because I'm not trying to upset anyone or offend anyone. I'm just genuinely curious. Like, I don't see anything wrong with asking questions. Even a genius should ask questions. And when you stop asking questions, you stop learning. I tell my children all the time, when you in school, if you don't get something, raise your hand and say, "I don't understand." And if you still don't get it, raise your hand. Raise your hand 50 times in a row if you have to until you get it. And if your teacher gets frustrated, then that means they don't have the answers, because no one should ever get mad with giving you the answers to something to help you advance. That's why I was thinking about these words, and it's like, do you mean to tell me in the year 2085, if a robot says nigga, the world gonna make a big deal about it? Because we know it's gonna be robots and all kind of weird stuff going on. I think it was Aiden Ross. I think that's his name. I seen a video of him, and he was showing his outfit, and he said the word, and it was like, should he get canceled? I really think the younger generation, because most of them are biracial, most of them got friends of different races. Hell, most of them are behind avatars, so they don't even really know who each other look like or any of that. I think the younger generation is going to be the ones that can really break free and get rid of the propaganda, because the people my age, 30 and up, they kind of lost. They gravitate to what's comfortable. Though I do have a few friends that's starting to wake up and see this game for what it is. Children have always been the future. That's why there's so much targeted at them. There's so much aimed at them. And I say, as parents, you gotta step out and be somebody's dummy cool to your kids. My kids, I shoot so many three-pointers and step backs and fadeaways that my children naturally want to be close to me because they want what I got. And if you're a chef, right? Like, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a car salesman, whatever it is, bring your kids along so they can see what you do on a daily basis. Remember, what happened to take your kid to work day? And even if you're somebody who don't have children, man, go be a big brother, big sister. Be a role model. Be an influencer. Not influencer like social brand influencer, but lead people on the right path. Because the world is missing a lot of positive role models. Someone said on my channel yesterday, they had asked me, is it a struggle for me to be so happy every day, or like, and I won't say it's a struggle, because genuinely I really value life, like in the most rawest form. Being able to wake up, my son this morning, my 4-year-old son came in there and used the bathroom before I left. Just the human experience. I've been around so much death, and death has been so close to me my whole life that I don't know. It's like from the when you were a kid, you're really, really close to your parents. You really you want somebody around you to protect you. And it's not that I've mastered the art of detachment. I just understand that I will always be with me. Like, whoever's watching this video, no matter how old you are, you still remember your 4-year-old self. That person's still inside of you. You still remember your 8-year-old self. You still remember your first date, your first kiss, your first crush. All of those things are still inside of you. And what I've learned is when you watch homicides, when you watch people die, and they're like, no, or they screaming and they crying as their soul is leaving their body, that's because they know they wasn't living right. And it's a fear of leaving because you never got aligned with self. Versus if you watch the video when Nipsey got murdered, he laid there and he was calm and he was peaceful and he's like, you got me. You never leave you. I can't tell you where the spirit goes, but I'm really comfortable that if something was to happen to me right now, yes, the world misses me, but I'm still with me. And I really like myself. I'm comfortable with myself. You know, I am my own best friend. So no matter what happens when this spirit leaves this body, I still will be Johnny. I still will be Johnny in consciousness, and you will still be you in consciousness. And me accepting that fact, it just made me happy. Like I yes, my mom's ashes are in my basement with me, but her spirit is, who knows where. That mom, it could be sitting in the passenger seat right now. You know, she could be behind my head doing the bunny ears, and y'all can't even see her. You know, yes, my 2 sons are buried at 12 Gate Cemetery, but every time I'm on a basketball court, in my mind, they right there with me. Hey, Daddy, watch your trap. Back door, Daddy. You know what I mean? We all can choose how we look at life. And you can look at it from a sad perspective or a happy perspective. And I just feel like God blessed me with a bunch of angels, right? Because when I was a kid, I used to truly say, and everybody goes through a different hardship or challenge, and I just share my stories to let you know what you can overcome. When my first son died, I was crushed. When my second son died, I used to say, hey, it ain't meant for me to have a son. God just don't want me to have a son, you know? I was living so wrong. I was living in my darkness and drinking liquor and lean every night and sleeping with so many different women. It didn't make no sense. I wasn't fit to be a proper father. But now I raised 4 sons. 3 of them on the same basketball team. I'm their basketball coach. I'm their basketball trainer. All 4 of my boys start flag football next month. I'm coaching both teams. So what I'm saying is you got to be willing to give your gift, what you thought you were supposed to have, back to God and trust that he'll give you something bigger. Because when I lost my first 2 sons, the last thing I ever thought, hey, God gonna bless you with 4 sons and you're gonna get to wake up with them and coach them and run around with them and it's gonna be the best experience. I couldn't think that far ahead. I was broken. Like I said, I was living in darkness, and when you're living in the darkness, it's hard to see the light. There's people watching this content right now and it's like, damn, I only can't see the light because I'm living in the darkness. But if you start looking for it, I promise you will find it. The kingdom is within all of us, not just me, not just the believer. The kingdom is within every single one of us. But if you never look inside, how you gonna find it? And I got tired of looking out at the world. I got tired of looking for happiness inside of a bottle. I got tired of looking for happiness in between a woman's legs. I got tired of happiness I got tired of looking for happiness everywhere out inside of myself. And I only want to encourage, not influence, encourage you to, man, whatever life is throwing at you, understand it's for a reason. And that reason may not make sense right now. You know, the seasons always change. I didn't understand why I lost my mama. Now it makes sense. It makes sense for me. It makes sense for my daddy. It makes sense for my children. I didn't understand why I split my first baby mama. I didn't understand why my second baby mama moved my kids out of town. There's a lot of things that I just didn't know. And there's a lot of single mothers right now who don't understand why they're a single mother. There's a lot of kids who don't understand why they don't see their daddy. It just, brokenness is something that's universal across the world. I was watching a video about a dude made $200 million in a year, and still wanted to wake up every day and was hoping he didn't wake up just because he was hurt over an ex-girlfriend cheating on him. I didn't grow up around people who had hundreds and millions of dollars, and the more I step out on life and I'm meeting so many people that got, like I was talking to a guy yesterday and he just built an apartment building for 110 million and it's losing a lot of money, so he about to turn around and sell it for 81 million. And I'm sitting there looking at him like, we really having conversations in the millions, bro. This is crazy. Like, we used to go to the store and get 4 packs of Rover noodles for $1, and now I'm sitting here with people talking about buildings for over $100 million. But you see that they still got insecurities, that they still got fears, that they still got doubts. I mean, bro got 3 Lamborghinis, and he looking at me like, man, I wish I was in shape like you. I'm like, nigga, I wish I had 3 Lamborghinis. I'm sorry, he got Corvettes, not Lamborghinis. But just universally, man, the prettiest girl and the ugliest girl both got insecurities. The overweight man and the man whose net worth is 1.5 mil, they all have something that they're insecure about. So just be nice to people. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know who's one step away from deleting themselves. And you can't say, oh, they should be happy. They got all the material things in the world. Everybody and their mama know material things don't bring you happiness. And that's why I look forward to the abundant life that I'm going to be able to provide for my children, because the happiness is pure. We was thugging it out when we barely had diapers, you know, when we was low on baby wipes. And so when I can give them the life of abundance, and I know it's a lot of people out there that know what it's like, man. It's snowing or it's raining, and your baby down to their last diaper. You're like, I gotta get out here and do this. Well, like I said, man, I understand the not only the struggle but the sacrifice. And I question a lot, you know, maybe somebody who happens to see this video one of these days can let me know in the comments. As an individual that never has children, what gives you that I got to do this for something bigger than me? Because I truly feel that's when life starts, and that's when happiness starts, is when you get out of selfish mode and you get out of, I want to give. Like what Napoleon Hill say, it isn't to be a go-getter. In order to really be a person of success, you need to be a go-giver. You need to give yourself, give your art, give your talent, give your love, give your life. And my children made me start giving to someone outside of myself. And I don't know if I ever reach that if I don't become a father. Even when I used to chill with my nieces and my nephews, it was temporarily so I could just go on back home. But my children made me understand that this thing is real, and that's why I use this YouTube as a digital diary, because I want to pull my heart out. I don't want my children to hear somebody else's perspective of who their father is and what type of person they was. I want them to be able to go on YouTube and listen to hours and hours and hours of me talking. And your grandchildren want to hear you talk. Your children, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins. Like we the same way we sit back and we can listen to Tupac and we can listen to Elvis and say, man, they was able to do that all that time. That's you. Your story, your life is somebody's roadmap to overcoming their hardships, their adversities. But we live in a world where we don't understand that we can be the next star. They make us look at the Hollywood figures like they different than us because they got millions of dollars and they all on TV. But I mean, they ain't no better than you. They got to put their pants on one leg at a time like you. They wash their hands. They eat food. So just understanding that there is no separation between you or I or that homeless man sleep on the curb right there, and LeBron James. And once again, we all can contribute once we seek the kingdom. It makes you a happier, peaceful person. And if you don't get anything from my content at all, because like I said, it's crazy. I don't know who watch it. I'm gonna get to meet a lot of y'all the same way I got to meet Travis yesterday. I'm gonna get to shake a lot of hands and kiss a lot of babies and all that good stuff. I hope you understand that this is real. Like, life is real. Like, every 24 hours you wake up, you have the opportunity to get better or worse. You create or you disintegrate. You literally grow or die. There is no standstill in life. So I hope when you listen to me, it really makes you push forward and trying something new, doing something different. I say a lot, we never, ever, ever know when our last day on earth is going to be. And you never, ever know what you could be doing in 5 years. So you can go from being dirt poor right now to having $5 million in the bank the next 3 years. You can have 20 million. You may not even want to have millions. You may just want to get a better job and make $100K and be able to, have a nicer car. You may want more freedom. The thing is everybody wants something different in life, but nobody tells you that it's okay for us all to want something different and to go after it. They say, grow up, go to school, go to college, get you a job. No, some people want to be backpackers. I know if I didn't have children, I'd probably be just hiking mountains, living from place to place. But whatever is important to you, whatever you want to do, follow your heart. Don't sacrifice your happiness for anybody else. I think we all know when we compromise ourselves to appease others, we feel ourselves dying a little bit on the inside. So I'm just here to tell you, have tunnel vision. The people who want to support you and want to follow along with you, they will. And the people who are using you for their benefit, they're going to fall by the wayside. But on this Thursday morning, like I said, this is dope that these videos are going to be out in the next 50 years, that people are going to be able to go back and see, damn, this is what Johnny was talking about all the way back in 2013. Yeah. Believe in yourself. The same way Booker T. Washington believed in himself and he got Tuskegee Institute, what you going to leave behind? What's going to be out there 200 years later after you done left Earth? They're going to be like, damn, that's inspirational. I love you all. Have a super mega awesome day. Don't let any negativity touch you. Smile, shine your light, and go get the money. I love you all. See you tomorrow, baby. We outie. Peace.